In my opinion, that is why Western women raised in anti-white culture are now amplifying anti-white culture, even though they are white. They think that keeps them safe, and they are correct, but only in the short term. In the long term, they will be forced to remember they are white. Better they are reminded of that by white men, because the alternative is not so gentle. So this is rapist Nazi. Yeah. Worlds for Just Man retweeting this rapist Nazi. That's what it is. So yeah, Elon Musk isn't settled about this at all.
Sydney Sweeney Nazi propaganda controversy playing out right now. Right, because if you haven't seen, there's been this debate playing out after her new campaign with American Eagle just launched, where the tagline is Sydney Sweeney has great genes. Right, it's a play on words because the campaign is for American Eagle's denim line, but also genes like genetics. And some of the videos, they seem to use her genes to make a "hey, did you know Sydney Sweeney is hot" joke, like this one.
My body's composition is determined by my genes. Hey, eyes up here.
Sydney Sweeney has great genes.
So I just want to state right out of the gates, if you've ever worked in media, especially in advertising, you will know that to get to this point where the public is now seeing this as a campaign ad, it has gone through a lot of folk. Upwards of maybe 50 to 60 people have approved of this. Different groups at different times, including executives obviously approving of it, but there's copy, there's people writing it, there's proposals, there's pitches. Those pitches are then brought again to another team of people who are then going to be people who are representatives of Sydney Sweeney, who are then going to be like, Sydney Sweeney is a huge brand. We understand that you are going to be co-branding with her, so we are taking the branding of Sydney Sweeney, we're going to be associating with the branding of American Eagle. How exactly are we going to present this? What are we going to be talking about? How are we going to do this? And some people have been pushing up against this, being like, oh, you guys, you woke lefts, you see just Nazi shit in symbology or Nazi fucking coded messages everywhere. Okay, it's just about her genes, wink. It's just the dad joke. Genes, genetics, genes, you get it? It's simple as that. It's obviously something that's pretty blatant in this case. Unfortunately, it's not the only ad. I've got another one to show you, not related to genes at all, related to donuts, but we'll get there. We'll talk about it.
Then you've got a number of people feeling like others have a much different tone.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has great genes.
And so you're seeing many out there feeling like that by emphasizing genetics, especially with Sydney's blue eye.
Philip, come on. Take a stance. You don't have to always just be like, I'm just reporting on the news. Some people are saying that this is actually pretty Nazi coded, and other people are saying that it's not. What do you think? Answer in the comments below. You can call this out for what it is.
And calling her genes great, the ad was essentially promoting eugenics, with some saying,
like, a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman is talking about her good genes. Like, that is Nazi propaganda. I also am thinking about like all of the young girls who are doing their back to school shopping right now at places like American Eagle who are seeing ads like this. Yikes.
Praising Sydney Sweeney for her great genes in the context of her white, blonde hair, blue eye appearance, it is one of the loudest and most obvious racialized dog whistles we've seen and heard in a while. When those traits are consistently uplifted as genetic excellence, we know where this leads.
Right, and that as you had others writing things like, I like Sydney Sweeney and American Eagle as much as the next guy, but we must secure the existence of our people and a future for white children is a crazy tagline for selling genes. As well as something about an ad sexualizing a woman with blonde hair and blue eyes while commenting that she has great genes feels extremely conservative, especially in this political climate. And that is, you had many blaming Sydney for participating in the campaign and claiming it wasn't just a commercial, saying it was a love letter to white nationalism and eugenic fantasies, and she knew it. With you also seeing tons of people in her Instagram comments pissed off at her, some pointing to the eugenics criticism and others just slamming her for doing another ad campaign that sexualizes her, with many of them saying that the campaign seems reminiscent of very controversial ads that Brooke Shields did with Calvin Klein when she was just a teenager, where she said nothing comes between her and her Calvins. And in one ad, she does a similar gene pun where she describes genetics, right? But there, many felt that those ads over-sexualize her, and now you have people thinking that it's odd for American Eagle to reference a commercial mostly known for sexualizing a child. Now with this, you had others pointing to the fact that in American Eagle's press release, you had the company noting that it created created a Sydney jean meant to raise awareness for domestic violence, with sales from those pants going to a crisis text line. But then you had many arguing that given how sexy the ads are meant to be, you would never know that this angle even existed. So, it just appears that there's controversies at every corner, with the criticisms notably growing especially loud over the weekend. With all of that said, Sydney Sweeney teaming up with American Eagle here, one, it appears to have actually been very good for American Eagle, at least as far as the stock price is concerned, with the stock seeing an initial massive jump, and then, with the backlash, there's been some fluctuations, but still it's been net positive. And two, you've also seen many people out there arguing that the backlash over this is overblown, right? Arguing that this is just a pun about Sydney Sweeney being very pretty, not a Nazi dog whistle. Though then also we've seen people landing in a third camp where they think, whatever is going on, it just didn't land. Right?
Well, until they make a statement, which they're not going to. They've been reached out numerous times to actually acknowledge or downplay or disavow the potential connections that is going on here. And so there could be an opportunity for American Eagle or Sydney Sweeney. She can speak on this too if she wanted to and be like, oh, this was never my intent. I simply thought that this was an ad. That would be very different than just right now, which is silence coming out of everybody. I think that there's a lot of room for people to speculate. Well, on some level, it's impossible that American Eagle didn't know that this connection would be made. If you want to say that they are accidentally, like Mr. Magoo, falling into these Nazi tropes and eugenics tropes, that's bad too. At my most generous, that's a bad way to do advertising. It's also bad to do that in the form of, let's just put this out there and let the controversy speak for itself. Because if this has just been an ad where it was Sydney Sweeney being like, hey, hi everyone, I'm Sydney Sweeney, here's the jeans, do you like them? I like them. Ad, and something very simple. Trust me, this is the reason I don't work in advertising. I'm not good at it. But whatever it was, if there was nothing directly or even remotely controversial about the ad itself, no one would be talking about it. I wouldn't be talking about it. How many other campaigns has Sydney Sweeney done, or other people have done ads for whatever, where no one talks about it, because obviously there isn't just a huge, overwhelming amount of people who acknowledge that I think rightfully this seems to be a very, very blatant nod to eugenics. So that's part of why it's also bad to simply advertise brands based on an inherent potential controversy to happen from it.
Things like, I don't think American Eagle is some sort of Nazi company, or this is even 100% on purpose, but it's definitely capitalizing on ever-growing fascist sentiment in this country. And so, while we're seeing this debate play out, and depending on where you go on the internet, just massively different reactions, I gotta pass the question off to you. What are your thoughts here? Which of these three camps are you landing in, and why?
Okay, so that's just a little bit of the background. Check out this new ad.
Look, I didn't ask to be the king of summer. It just kind of happened. This tan? Genetics. I just got my color analysis back. Guess what? Golden summer. Literally. I can't help it. Every time I drink a Duncan Golden Hour refresher, it's like the sun just finds me. So if sipping these refreshers makes me the king of summer, guilty as charged. The Golden Hour refresher. Only a Duncan.
So with this one, I don't really fully know what's going on. I guess I'm confused. I'm more confused as to what any of this is. Is it piss? Are you drinking piss? What the fuck is the Golden Hour refresher? And why is a donut company being like, hey, by the way, we need to advertise this by being like, yes, my golden white skin that turns a beautiful shade when it's raining. But hey, this one could just be them just straight up being weird about drinking piss. I don't know. I'm not a big Duncan guy. I do not frequent that store. We don't even really have Dunkin' Donuts in Canada. That could be it. I mean, I would be considered a traitor if I wasn't going to Timmy Ho's, right? I go there for my double and my fucking excess of sugar. So I know what's happening there. A lot less subtle is Elon Musk right now and his statements. Elon Musk fought to kill wokeness. After seeing American Eagle ad, I really believe Elon succeeded. Legend. And then he's doing a little, that's me. I did this. I did the Sweeney thing. Okay, maybe that's not exactly that blatant, because wokeness, when it's being used by the right, is obviously, their interchangeable slur. It could be just the thing they don't like at any given time. I hate a black person. I can't, call this black person the N-word, because obviously people would be like, you're disgusting, that's racist. But I can call him a DEI, I can say that all I want. I can be like, get the fuck out of my house, DEI. Get the fuck out of my country, DEI. That apparently isn't extremely racist. Well, I mean, when I say it out loud, it does sound kind of racist, but I can say it. I can do that. I can drop these terms, and I've got my new little slurs. So we've got slurs for slurs. You know, we've got slurs within slurs. But if you wanted to know exactly what Elon thinks, he retweeted this. I don't know if this is a real doctor, but Dr. Insensitive Jerk says, they've been programmed to do so by their teachers in the media. Insightful. Women are built to be traded to another tribe or captured and slide seamlessly into their new culture. That keeps them safe, even though they are physically weak. 20 years after they are captured, they are the matriarchs who enforce that culture. That is why women conform to the dominant culture and thereby amplify that culture. In my opinion, that is why Western women raised in anti-white culture are now amplifying anti-white culture, even though they are white. They think that keeps them safe, and they are correct, but only in the short term. In the long term, they will be forced to remember they are white. Better they are reminded of that by white men, because the alternative is not so gentle. So this is rapist Nazi shit. Yeah. Worlds for Just Men retweeting this rapist Nazi shit. That's what it is. So yeah, Elon Musk isn't subtle about this at all. He's just, you know, the guy does Nazi salutes. He's a Nazi. He's a Nazi who has Nazi beliefs. He's always fucking promoting Nazi shit. I don't know why there's kind of been a lot of people who've subsequently started to forget. It only takes a little bit of time. It used to take years for people to be like, what the fuck did that bad person do? Something fucked up. I can't remember. Either way, they got a new comedy special, so I'm going to check that out. That'll be fun. Yeah, hopefully it wins a Grammy. But now it's just like, you know, you can go a couple of months and it's like, what did Elon Musk do again that people call him a Nazi? Something about a Nazi salute, retweeting just all these Nazi conspiracy theories, you know, anti-Jewish conspiracy theories, anti-black conspiracy theories, eugenics, a lot of eugenics. He's really into eugenics, the same way Nazis are. That was a lot of Nazi stuff. Either way, well, he's stepped down from the whole presidential stuff, so we don't care as much about Elon Musk anymore. He's not as overtly Nazi, working within a Nazi regime, so why do we have to talk about the guy, you know? I'm just saying these words so much. They've lost all meaning, really. But now he's back to doing the epic memes and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, Chatelet, comrade, have fun. You know, they can't wait to see the next one. Hope everyone will be pwned, keck. But also, Nazi. Is not dropping the Nazi. Still fucking Nazi as fuck. Just loves being a Nazi.
Don't let this happen to you. Go to surfscoffee.com to order the only end-to-end owned indigenous coffee company that delivers blood-free, conflict-free, and cruelty-free beans right to your door. 0% of people who drink surfscoffee.com have exploded spontaneously. By ordering right now, you get 10% off plus free shipping, and it's the best way to enjoy delicious coffee while not exploding. That's surfscoffee.com, surfscoffee.com.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. This video wouldn't be at all possible without the financial support of all the people whose names you see on the screen right now. And if you want to unlock secret bonus episodes, content that we can't post anywhere else, or get the videos early before anyone else gets to see them, please go on to patreon.com/theserfs. For as little as $1, you can help support this channel and help make more videos like this possible. Our executive producers are Anna Loves Riley, Adrian McCarthy, Bobby Lasers, Cheryl Alvarez, Comrade Junkie, Doug Caddy, Everything Important, Garrett Sandoval, Hagbard Celine, Jimmy Sombrero, Multimondi, Omni, Political Papi, Preston Kroll, Quiet 185, Richard Boehm, Riley and Anna, Roller Dragon, Cernicus, Stellar Gwyn, Sebastian Demel, Tigwick, Trav, and Words Greenwood. And also, it wouldn't be possible without all the names you see on the screen right now. Again, if you want to help produce this content, it's only made possible through the funding of our patrons. Head on down to patreon.com/theserfs. That's patreon.com/theserfs.